Like I've got everybody but Atomic muted for the moment. Go ahead and hit him. It is 6 o'clock, so we are going to get started. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for coming. I know it's a Saturday and I know it's college football and everybody's got stuff going on. What up, OUM? Hopefully everybody knows how to use the chat feature to ask questions. And I think one of the things we wanted to talk about for sure was kind of what I saw yesterday when I sent out this tweet about the bottom kind of being a little bit in at the moment. So I'll go ahead and link the tweet in case you didn't see it. But I sent out, yes, Primogy, I have a big fish tank in my office. So if this is your first time, everybody always calls it ET's fish tank fireside chat or something like that. A little bit ridiculous, but yes, I definitely sound like I'm underwater. There's 4 massive pumps pumping water into a fish tank that needs a little bit of water right now. So, going through yesterday, as we can see here, we were getting pretty close to the end of the session. I just want to talk about, and feel free to type your questions in here as we go along. If you want to look at a ticker, you can just put it in. Just don't spam thousands of them all at once. Just kind of give me some time. So right here, and this is a combination of a couple tools that we put together. Who is in that's not muted? A bunch of people. All right, well, we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so this is really a combination of multiple different tools. First one is our SPY stock dashboard, okay? And what I do here, if you haven't seen this before, I go here. This is just you go to here, the stocks button right here, okay? You type in SPY, and then I just go ahead and click every one of these buttons real quick. It sounds like 2 people are talking at once. Am I echoing or are other people echoing? Yeah, I'm muting more folks as we go along. Sorry, y'all. Vanna, Greg, that is not something that I mess with. Vanna would be major in chat. He's going to be able to give you a better explanation of what Vanna is. And I believe if KFAT is in here somewhere, he's not now. He has a YouTube channel where he does a lot of Vanna stuff. There we go. I just muted everybody but myself. So hopefully that's good. All right, so getting back to it. Basically, this is going to be the beginning of your bread and butter of levels and how they work out, okay? Yes, there'll be plenty of time for questions, Primogy. Say, once I get through this, we'll have probably 40 minutes of questions. I'm just going to talk about one thing real quick here about kind of what I saw on Friday on that big bounce using the new tool. So once you get these levels pulled here, you go to you click again, and here are the instructions. You just follow these, all right, when it comes time to bring them. You hit copy to trading view, and then once you've added the Trady tool, okay, you come over here and you paste them in to this spot. And what it will do is it will actually bring up, let me just go ahead and turn it on for you. It will bring up all of the levels for you, and these gray areas are these ghost zones, okay? These are areas where price can move freely, and the only thing that really changes throughout the day is your 0 day will start to add levels as we go along, right? So yesterday 433 had a little bit, 432 had a little bit. There were quite a few different spots there where we had some extra things showing up, right, that weren't there at the beginning of the day. But I kind of leave this off and leave all of mine gray, because what I'm really looking for as we go along throughout the day is what the 0 gamma is saying. So that's thing number 1. As I bring all these levels in, I bring them into my chart. And by the way, if you didn't know, if you are a subscriber, my chart is live all day long, and I make adjustments as we go. Every morning about 5 a.m., I put all my new levels on. I check the dark pools again. I readjust everything. I check GEX levels, everything. So my chart's actually linked in the MNF Trades channel for all subscribers, so you don't have to actually put the work in if you don't want to. And sometimes I put memes and things on there to keep myself entertained. Step 2, when you're building these out, things that are important is you're going to, and you can do this on your own chart. You don't have to do it in TradingView. You can do whatever you want. Is you go into the bots and you type in DR or TR DP levels space SPY, and it'll pull the aggregate levels for you here. Okay, these aggregates are a lot like what you'd see, down here. Okay, pretty close to what you're going to see down here, your largest levels and things like that. All right, so you can pull them from here too if you want. They're almost the same when it comes to things. White's going to be your price. All right, and then your green level is always going to be your largest level. I wouldn't think of dark pool as magnets necessarily, but I will say that price does find a way to get where all these larger levels end up going. So we've been 429.81, right? I had that on my chart, 429.81. Look how close we were there. So that's step 2, okay? If you want to build your chart out throughout the day. In the morning, not much is going to change. Your dark pools are fine the whole day, okay? You can leave your dark pools until the next day. Sometimes at the top of this page, you'll see if there's a signature print, it'll show up here, okay? And this is your individual dark pool. It's right here, by the way. You go here and you click dark pool. But if there's a signature print, and it shows up here, I just check this 2 or 3 times a day. I will add that to my chart as well, because sometimes those seem to be foretelling for what might happen later on. All right, so we've gone through step 1. We've gone through step 2. We've added our gamma. How did I pull that level? Discord bot ping, Guru. TR DP levels SPY. Okay, so step 1, step 2. Preparation, right? How's that saying go? Luck is 50% preparation and 50% perspiration, or something like that. I'm not quite sure what the exact percentages were, but the first thing that I do every morning around 5, 6 in the morning every day is I prep my chart. All right, so now we've got our chart ready to go before open, right? So we've got our dark pool levels, we've got our gamma that got pulled from the platform. More gamma is going to appear throughout the day, and we'll start talking about that now. Yeah, I talked about that for a second, Greg. I don't color code them because the 0-day gamma is what's going to be pulling for us anyways. So I don't pay as much attention to that as we go along. Okay, so next step jumping in as we go. We had step 1 and step 2. We got our chart ready with dark pool levels. Yes, OUM, we can later on. We've got our dark pool levels on our chart. We've got our predetermined gamma levels on our chart. Now the market is open, right? Now I'm going to give you some pretty sage advice. 30 minutes to an hour in is when sometimes our trend changes, okay? Sometimes it simply changes early. Hold on. There, that's what it looks like, Guru. Oh, it actually pulled it for you too. Ha! The bots were turned on this channel. Great. Don't start spamming, please. Okay, so next step is you see me tweet about it. I wait 30 minutes from market open before I make a move. Some days I will go a little, if I just feel it and I see something, if I see a bunch of wicks or something, I will go ahead and go in a little early, but it is rare. 30 minutes to an hour almost always for me. Now I realize here's our open. I did go in, about 30 minutes in on puts here. I did. So, and we were still a little bit bullish, but what I saw was there was a quick change, and this is at the end of the day, right? But we were all the way up here. We got this early morning gap up, right, to 436, mid 436s, but there was a 434 level coming right across this bar. Now this is important. I'm going to show you. Number 1, I prefer SPY over SPX, okay? I prefer it over QQQ. That's just what I like to trade. It's the one I like to use, and I think this SPY tool is a little bit more accurate sometimes than SPX. When they line up, when the two line up really well, things seem to work out really well, right? But I use SPY the most. So the next thing we have 3 different options. We have strike, right? And this is where people start to get confused because strike is just going to kind of not change much throughout the day. It's going to a little bit. It's going to show you the ebbs and flows, but in very large time increments, okay? Time, are your color-coded levels, and they kind of give you actually an idea a little bit what change does. But change is going to show you the more immediacy of what is changing. All right, so we'll start with the morning. We had a 434 pulling, right? And I said, okay, 434. We're up here at 436. I'll take a small short just to see. It's 30 minutes in. It was actually, I went in about probably 5-6 minutes before I usually would. I broke a rule, but I ended up riding it a good portion of the way down. And the reasoning is after 434 pulled, 432 did, 431 did, and then later on the day, 430 and 429 did. All right, so that is where the open session hit. Now this big bounce right here that we got, this is a little bit later in the day when we tapped this 429.95. I sure will, Glenn. Give me 1 second. So at this time of the day, and I don't have a screenshot, it's probably in the M&F Trades channel. Chetta or somebody probably posted it as we saw. At this time of the day, we're at 439, 439 roughly. Okay, right down here at the bottom, and we're right here near this dark pool level. So what happened on this change chart is 431 got smaller, 433 and 434 got bigger red. Remember, red levels attract, okay? Green levels repel. So these levels grew, and the 429 level that we had that was big shrunk down to be real fractional like this 436 right here. Okay, so to me, the pull, right, I was just reading it live, the pull at 429 disappeared and upper levels disappeared. And if you look at this, just perfect timing, it coincided with us hitting a 19 billion dark pool, right? So that's why I tweeted out, careful on shorts here, and we immediately, I think it was within about 2 minutes, ripped upwards, okay, and bounced up a couple bucks very quickly. Now I did not take that long because we did still have some red MNF throughout that time, right? We still had some convergence right around that time. You can see it's waning a little bit, but we still had it, all right. But we still did have it, so I didn't take that long at all. But I did, according to my DMs, save people a metric ton of money because nobody shorted that hole. Okay, so the point is to point out what's happening in the platform, try to give a little bit of hindsight and foresight as to what might happen depending on the levels. I know that can be a little confusing, so you might want to watch it a few more times after this has been recorded, just so you can kind of think about it. But when you're using the change thing, it's the levels that are moving the most quickly that you see growing the fastest. Now, how I pair that always, I pair it with my Market NetFlow. Okay, and I will add these levels here as the day progresses. So if I see a huge pull popping up here or down here, and it's not already on my aggregate chart, I will throw it on there, and I might mark big negative pull. Now, how I play it, and this is important, when I play rejections and bounces, I do not play breakouts and breakdowns. Anybody know why? What happens if you tried to play this breakdown right here, right? Especially if you went 0 day, you ended up with no money. Right? It went above, it burned you out, you never got there, your cons were zeroed out if you didn't have a good stop loss. Change, Primogy. Change is what I use now. It's only been out about a week and a half, and I'm using it religiously now. I'm using it pretty much only at this point. Change shows you what the immediacy of what's happening with price. So how I play these usually is when we start to trail down to a level, we'll just say we've got downside day. If we start to trail down to a level, I will see if there are any prices above that are growing. I'll wait for some lower RSI. I know that's a little bit of a boomer indicator, but I do keep RSI on my chart. I'll wait for it to maybe find a bottom. I will check Market NetFlow to see if convergence is waning or going the other direction, or if it's carrying in the correct direction, right? So your convergence means if price is moving contrary, right, to Market NetFlow, your convergence is likely gray or waning. Big green down here means we've got a good strong trend. You can see these big downtrends still. Glenn, changes what's happening immediately. It's what's growing right now the fastest. So it gives you a faster snapshot of what the market is doing. Okay, 434 level had the largest negative gamma, but we couldn't get past 433. Well, I mean, I can't predict as to why anything would or wouldn't, but the platform did give us a pretty good picture because we had that 434. Were you looking at strike, by the way, for 434? Because if you were looking at strike, it's an early aggregate, an early pin. See here? See this? Any way you're looking at it, yeah, real-time data is on change. Any way you're looking at it, your change is going to give you the more immediate. And I think I talked about this last time a little bit. We get these pins early, okay? So we see this 434 rip down early, but then see how it goes completely flat? See how 429 is flat? And all of these aren't pulling, right? Levels moving down are what pull, and what change does is gives you a really good snapshot of what's going green, which is a positive, which is a repel, and what's going red, which is a negative, which is a pull. Okay? I hope that makes. I know it's difficult to think. I want you to first off erase in your mind. Red and green is bull and bear when it comes to this widget. So just everybody thinks red is bear, green is bull. When it comes to this widget, delete that from your brain. Red attracts. The larger the red, the more attraction. Green repels. The larger the green, the more repel you will see. Now, price matters on green. Price matters on green. If you have a strong green market net flow, and you're approaching a large green gamma level on your change, and price gets above, and you have a strong convergence that's green, it can cause a gamma ramp, is what I call it, to push price to repel price upwards. It doesn't necessarily mean a repel price downwards, right? So price matters an awful lot on positive levels as to where it is sitting in between those things. The SPY options tab, Mando. So, SPY options. Oh, okay. So, I know exactly what you mean. You mean this page, what's the difference between this page and these here, Mando? Okay, great. So, these are your daily expiries that you're looking at here. And let's take a look at Friday, by the way. So, your aggregate is a buildup over all of them combined, okay? Your expiry filter is that day's expiry, because indices have every day of the week. Okay, you're going to have a daily expiry that you want to look at. And I plan this out. We talk about this in the Discord, in the M&F Trades channel all the time. We look at this. Let's look back at Friday. What was our largest level there? Right? Anybody have any guesses of where price went? 430. Over and over and over. We visited that. So I actually plan my daily trades out, and we'll take a look. And these do adjust throughout the day. If a gamma level starts pulling negative or going really positive throughout the day, it will change on this chart. But I stick on the day always. So let's look at Monday. It looks like we've got a little bit of hedging going on for Monday. We're at 432. There's a large level at 433, 434, a big repel level at 435. And then our largest pull for tomorrow right now is 420. Okay, so if we repel off of this 435 tomorrow, and we have a red market net flow, I will short down to 432, trim some, go and I don't play a 0 day, by the way. I play a week out at minimum. So 432, I would trim some of my contracts there and just see if we end up having a Black Monday where we drop $15, which I doubt, but things are possible all the time. Atomic, help me understand your question. Are you just buying the option where the change lies? Oh, okay. So I'm buying the option. As I explained a few minutes ago, I am buying longs on low RSI that are hitting a lower level, right? Plain and simple. And I buy my shorts that are at high RSI and hitting a higher level. And I will buy. I won't buy that exact number. Very good question, by the way. If I see 434 pulling, okay, and we're at 430, I'm gonna go a week out, and I'm gonna go 432. I'm gonna go 5 sessions out. I'm gonna buy 432s. I want to be at the money, because if it happens to rip past it, then I've done great. I hope that explains it a little bit. Yep, happy medium. On the 1 minute RSI, I have multi-frame RSI. If you can see here, Matthew, I have 15, 5, and 2 on my chart. So I did not swing anything OUM. Difference between SPY gamma exposure chart. So you're talking about this page here, Glenn, the one we were just looking at. Yeah, your change is going to be for your day trades, Glenn, all day long. This change button is going to be for your day trades that you want to see. This dashboard here is going to be where you kind of plan out the week to see what happens. And we've talked about this a lot, but I go through every day. And I look to see what our biggest exposures are and what might be possible. So right now the week is showing lots of downside. It's showing a high of 435, 436 so far, and it's got a big pull to 427. Now these things do change, but we've already done 17. But I do go through and check. But then see, look later on in the week, it shows some weird stuff with 441 and 414. So these do change. These do adjust. I just don't like messing with the Greeks, Tiki. It's being closer to the money, and being a little bit out gives you more time to be right. Okay, so that way you can trim some along the way and move as you go. Well, we covered gamma pulling early on. Dreamer, were you listening? Red levels pull. Red levels attract price. Let me make sure I've answered all the questions. Right, but Guru Glenn, I say at 430 I played long on the negative gamma building at 431, 432, but a green positive bar at 433. The huge negative at 434, but look where it ended up. That 434 disappeared very quickly. That big negative bar after this run up right here, when these candles hit, that 434 disappeared and the 431 came back. Let's see here. How much are you using Market NetFlow divergence on the new charts tab? Good question. Quite a bit. I think I have Tessie up right now, so let me grab SPY and just go. I watch it throughout the day. It's very good. I tell you this, it's very good for helping see a change of trend or a continuation of trend. So let's take a look at what Friday showed us. Okay. Price continue. Uh-oh, somebody's got a hot mic. Mute. I'm getting there. Always Heat Nation, isn't it? That guy is a menace. Absolute menace. Okay, I think I got everybody muted. By the way, thanks for coming. So it's not delayed, Guru. It's just pushed out. It's just pushed out slower. I guess. I mean, it's just coming out at a different tick. The change is giving you just quicker snapshots, if you will. So yes. Okay. So anyways, so you see this right here. We started to get that run up again on Friday, and then we had even more of a dip as we went. But what I really like is if we scroll out to the whole drop here. So this should be the beginning of our Friday. No, let's go back. Where is our Friday? There we go. Here's where our Friday started. That's a very good question. It'll be on the Trady Ticks YouTube channel, Total Tech. So right here, Atomic, you can see all the, or was that OUM that asked? Nope, it was Atomic. Okay, good. You can see throughout the entire day, and I think I tweeted about it, no relief in sight. No real big bumps. right? So at some point, if we were going to have a really big run, we would have seen price diverging with price heading this direction. We would have seen the net flow painted on starting to head upwards. But there was no relief on Friday. All we saw was just a consistent downtrend, and price followed flow. You can just search the Trady YouTube Total Tech and you'll get it and see all the stuff. Okay, let's see here. All right, Dreamer got your question answered about gamma pulling. Just remember, red levels attract. Like I said, delete in your brain over and over and over again that when it comes to these widgets, that red means bear and green means bull. Always think of red as attract, right? Red is your magnet, and green is your opposing is your push away, like having two magnets of the same polarity. All right. So if you can kind of erase that from your brain. I had a long talk with someone the other day, and the difference between red and green had them struggling a bit, and they were struggling, but now they have it, and now they're feeling way better. So that's good. Okay, okay, so Tesla. Hey, we asked about Tesla, didn't we? Let's go ahead and grab it. 250 was perfect. Perfect. They have earnings Wednesday, I believe. So let's get a snapshot of 1020. Interesting here on Tesla. I tweeted about it earlier. We've gotten here on price just about. Okay. We do have some Greeks below, but remember, one of the important things that I like to look at when it comes to the Greeks, when it comes to individual tickers, is I want them to line up with support, resistance, or dark pools, because I think that gives us confluence between the tools. The jury is technically still out on if gamma is all that great for individual tickers. I think it works well with some big ones. But I think it works best when we have levels that line up with it, right? So that, I think I talked about that last time. I want either a massive dark pool level or a support resistance to line up with my thesis on gamma, pretty much on anything, to be honest. I think that's really where it goes. So 250, if it gets below that, that's 1020. It is. So interesting look there. It's still 250 as we go along. I'm not sure on Tesla. How do I follow the downtrend on Friday with the negative gamma? Was that the market makers accelerating? That's just MNF still painted on OUM. That'll disappear on Monday. That's just Friday's MNF painted on. Follow downtrend on Friday. Well, Guru Glenn, I can tell you exactly how I do it. I set trailing stops. If your broker doesn't have them, I don't know what to tell you, but I automate my process. I enter my trade, I set a trailing stop, and I walk away. So we never technically got on Friday, once I entered, we never really got high enough to get through my stop until right about here, I think. And I had three quarters on, and I think it was around here that they auto sold. All right, but then I left. I left 1 quarter on as runners just in case, and those got not great but still green, and then very green before my stop triggered for the last quarter here. So I actually set my trailing. I set my trailing with different percents of my cons. So I always try to get out 3 quarters quickly, and then I leave 1 quarter to see if I can get that extra home run. Plain and simple. The materials sector, gold, etc. Sure, we can do that. I want to make sure I haven't missed any questions. So, Guru, really, a trailing stop. You can Google it. You can take a look at it. You can see what they are. I use TradeStation. Theirs work really well. They let me enter them right after I enter my trade. For everybody that knows, I trade from my phone. This chart you see here, I'm looking at on my cell phone as I'm trading. I am not at a computer most of the day. I'm a busy dude. So I go through and I set alerts on things that I want to see. when it comes to individual tickers. And then I set alerts on SPY, like, okay, you know, I checked NetFlow, it says it's red right now. I want to see what happens at 4:35, and if it's still red, and then I go that direction. So I trade from TV on my phone and TradeStation on my phone. I don't have a big fancy screen thing or multi-monitor setups or any of that stuff. I mean, I do in my office, but I'm working in my office, so so that's how that goes. So you want to take a look at materials, silver, gold, etc. So let's just take a look. SLV. Kind of trimming down there on that. Let's just take a look at the chart, see where our price is. Oh, got to type in the right stuff. So your SLV, I am using Scanny after the after hours close. Atomic. There's a video on the YouTube about it. I look for things that support. I look at things for resistance. We just looked at Tesla OUM and I didn't see anything I liked. It's a wash for me because it's gammas all over the place. What's up, Heat? Okay, ET, you missed my question about DTE versus expiration date on options. I covered that, didn't I? Where I covered the difference between the aggregate and the daily. Mostly stick with Scanny. Mando, I answered this. So your SPY gamma exposure, this is what... Oh, I don't use the DTE filter. Period. I just use this and expiry. So maybe I didn't answer your question. That's all you really need. I'm gonna tell you guys something. This platform is insanely powerful to the point where there is a massive amount of data to process as you go. If you try to big brain everything you do and deep dive everything, you are going to get analysis paralysis. I am telling you right now, I tell you guys this all the time, I smooth brain everything I do, and I am successful week in and week out, and I have been for quite a while. I don't have massive weeks every week. Some weeks I just scrape by because I make a couple of mistakes, but I do well by using the simplicity of the platform if you drill down into the simplicity. So I use the aggregate to see a little bit, but I really drill down to see what my week looks like. So we end the week, let's see here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10:20. Friday's iffy, so you'll want to check this later on in the week to see, because they've got it all the way from 4:45 to 4:21. So there's going to be some positioning going on depending on probably what's going on globally. This will change throughout the week, so check Friday every day. So yes, the GEX chart guru, Glenn, I do look to plan out my swing trades. When they're messy like this, okay, don't look for something where there's nothing. All right, when they're messy like this, I stay out. I wait for something that looks clean. Friday was clean. Friday had 430 pinned all week long, and I knew that I was going to short the hell out of SPY on Friday if that stayed, and it did. Okay, and we got up a little bit above, and then we just shot right back down. Okay, we just could not get up high enough. That stayed, so I knew we were going to that price at some point. I not knew, but I anticipated because of the data. I don't overthink things. I really, really, really try to just use the simple parts of the platform. We looked at Tesla a little bit. I don't like any part. Everything's mixed. Everything is really mixed on it. There's not enough clear. The deltas are shrinking a little bit. I think it has earnings, so I'm not even going to touch it. It has a pretty wide range on its aggregate for gamma. anywhere from 250, which is where we're at, up to a 260 pull away if you're looking at aggregate. But then here you go, you've got a decent pull at 290 and another one at 250. So I don't have any idea on Tesla, and I'm just going to put it as a scratch for the week until this all cleans up as that goes. So that answers Glenn's question. Do you use Trady flow for swings? Mostly Scanny. And I can walk you through. Okay, let me pull Scanny up, and I could just show you my process. I think we did this last time for a little bit. I'm sorry, whoever asked Ant. I'll look at the other sectors here in a second. My bad. So this is simple. I do filters. I do 15. I click optionable. I click support first, and then I start going through, and I just start looking at these signals. A lot of them are strat signals. I don't know anything about strat, but I do know some very smart people who crush the market every day. And then I'll start looking around. So duck, I believe, is our energy, is an energy or utilities, right? So I'll go to its chart. I'll take a look. I'll go up to its options dashboard. We're getting there. I'll see what its call flow looks like. I'll see what its net flow looks like. No, I said strat's awesome. I said I don't know it, but I know people who crush it with it. So, no, I would never. Hey, you'll find something out about me. I don't care if you use moon cycles to trade. If you're successful, I'm proud of you. I'm happy. I think that's something that, especially when you get on FinTwit and you see people who are so nasty about they have an insult to everybody for the way they trade or something they use. I know people who rock fibs in a way that I could never process in my smooth brain. I know people who trade using strat. I think it's insanely important that you find something that is successful for you that you can lock down and don't. If somebody says don't do that, what's wrong with them? Really, that doesn't make them a very good person. That just means that they're hateful and need a little bit more love in their life, right? So just ignore those people. So go in here. My goodness. So ducks at what's our price? This is how I start going through stuff. If I could type tonight. So it's got a big pull to that 90. So now we can kind of go up to here. Oh, somebody's loud. Thoughtful investor isn't being thoughtful. I got you. Don't worry. You're muted. Okay, so here's duck. It has a pretty good October. It's got a gamma pull to 90. We're going to grab its support resistance. We're going to look at its options. A little bearish for this week. So if this is one of those ones, right, it is technically at a support. If it holds here, it might be a nice long to 90. Not a big run, but a buck 40 wouldn't be bad. All right, but its biggest pull actually at 85, which does match up with close with our gamma levels. I bet or with our SR levels. I bet if we pulled out a little bit, we might see some more because we are on a lower time frame. Let's check the daily just to see. So I literally just start going through this stuff. All right, I literally just start going through and checking the different levels to see what everything looks like and where we go. And then let's say I want a long duck. I'll pull its chart up. Let's say I want a long duck, but I want to get a dip first. I'll look around, see where it dipped. I'll see where support is on the Trady AI generated levels, and I will come here and I'll click Add Alert. All right, and then I will set this alert up to go. Oh, actually, I would go here. I would go here and I would add an alert because this sends directly to a bot that I have that tells me things are happening. So when I use this thing here. So that is how I would do that if I wanted to long it for using Scanny. If I'm looking to short, excuse me, I will go here and I'll go resistance, and I will see some of these look good. Google, right? Google's riding that line. It kind of was in a bit of a wedge there, I think, coming up, and it's got a couple of signals that look not necessarily good. Right, so Google actually looks like probably a good short. I think I was looking at it earlier, actually. Let's pull all of it up. Then I will get to SLV and that. Color change guru. I just used regular GEX. Don't confuse yourself, in my opinion. Did I get Google's chart pulled up? Where am I? Here we go. No, you can't use the bot for that. Got to use your mobile browser, homie. So in my opinion, I really want to short Google. Its dealer deltas do perform good when it's got a positive push. If I remember correctly, customer positioning is bearish. I remember looking at this earlier. If we go to its options and you take a look at its 1020, biggest pull is 132. We're here, so any pops on Google, I'm shorting a few weeks out, probably all week long, unless the market has a big trend change. So that's how I start to find my things. Then I'll go onto my chart and I will say, well, where were we? I'll set a couple of different spots. 139. I want to short on pops, 137-ish. 138. I'll set a couple of these for my bot to remind me to check market direction and see if I want to short or not. So that's how I use scanning. Can't remember who asked that question. OUM. Oh, Atomic did. All right. Okay, material sectors. SLV looks like garbage. There wasn't enough data on it. Let's look at gold. That depends, Atomic, and I'll show you why. And this isn't available to other people, but this volume detector here fires more on 2 minute than 5. So you just pull up SPY. My buddy coded this for me. So instead of having volume on my chart, I have in a regular volume indicator that my buddy coded. He actually coded this multi-time frame RSI as well. And what it does, it helps you find trend changes. So 5 minutes, sometimes you get less. You see here on the 5. Where's our Friday drop? Right here. So Friday, you can see this candle here. That actually popped at the same time. Yellow bar is abnormal volume. It's not part of the Trady platform, which is why I keep it off when I do these things. So yeah, so it fires better on the 2 minutes. Atomic is the reason I stay there. I'll switch back and forth as I go. Okay, we were looking at different tickers. Gold. Hell of a gap up, but look left, right? Look left here. Just let your eye scroll from here all the way over to here, and you can see a lot of price contention here. So watch that area for sure. Let's see if, yep, looks like our levels pulled it up for us. So it looks all right. Let's check its customer calls. Looking strong. Customer puts also looking strong. I don't really trade commodities very often. Yes, I am muting them. Am I missing anybody? Looks like everybody's muted. So, okay, I muted him. Does that sound better? Not good looks for me when it comes to the commodities. They're not things I regularly trade. Oh my God, driving and watching ET live. I can look at LMT, Greg, but it's not something I trade because I hate the spreads. I really hate the spreads. So they're just garbage. And I think when a sector like that, because of news pops, I try to stay away from it because they can just rip it away from you at any time if you're trying to long it. All right, so gold we see, it's got a good chance to go up if we look at the different levels here. Surely it's got a chance to 183 if that continues, but its flow here doesn't look all that great to me. There's nothing really that that pops out. We'll take a look at its options flow. A lot of calls to 180, which we are close to that. So, but its net flow's trailing down. We'll take a look at its gamma exposure really quick. Ooh, who was that? Someone's loud. Laggy. I got you muted, Laggy, don't worry. So our 1020 is all over the place. Big pulls down. Now, I don't like anything really about longing it, to be honest, but that can change. It could just keep rolling up till on these tiny, smaller levels, but I just don't know how. I've never looked at commodities with their gamma levels in comparison to where their support resistances are to see how it plays out. That's why I stick with just a few things. LMT. We'll look at LMT's. We had that run there. The cons went from $6 to $800 from Friday to Monday. You can figure out the math there. LMT's got a little bit more before resistance. Its put positioning is starting to increase just a little bit, but its customer positioning is pretty bullish. It's got some pretty wild gamma going along all the way up, but it looks like it's 440, which matches one of our levels there. Looks pretty good. Let's see what our customer calls look like. Still increasing drastically. LMT might have some more legs. Possible. At least to the 444. It's a long time ago. It was April when we were up this high, so that's not that far away. Meta, yes. Kill it with fire. Oh. Muting Frosties. What is up, Frosty Tips? Frosties and Laggy are very good friends of mine, so I figured they came in here to troll. Meta's decreasing in call positioning. Puts are increasing. Let's just take it down. Let's bring it all the way down. I don't know. This might bounce a little bit. Let's get down to a smaller time frame. You are late to see my calves, Frosties. We'll talk about it later. I'd love to see it just get back down to here, this 306. That'd be a heck of a play. 306. You're pretty close, 303. Okay. What amount of your trading is individual tickers compared to trading SPY? Are you mainly doing options trading, or you also have positions in stocks? All right, that's a very good question, Atomic. So all of my plays are mostly options for near term. Okay, I'm always swinging something, options wise, long or short, just depends on what I see. It's rare that I'm not in a trade or two. Hey, thanks, Laggy. Love you too. Enjoy work. Thanks for popping in. So what I do, Atomic, is I feed options wins into my long-term portfolio. I technically have 3 separate portfolios. I have a day trade one, I have a swing one, and I have a long-term dividend one. And everything feeds into the long-term dividend one. So if I take a win on a swing, I will pull out the what my accountant says will go to them, and I will pull out what is left over, and I will purchase a stock of my choice for dividends, and I just do that, rinse and repeat. That's what I've been doing now. I guess since you could buy Tesla. That's around the time I started trading is when you could buy Tesla. And I didn't get into options until a year before COVID, roughly. I literally just purchased commons of things that had dividends over and over and over again every month for a long time. So that's a multi-dimensional question. And I also scale. I keep less in my day trading account than I do in my swing account, and I keep less in both of those accounts than I have in my long-term account. Is that helpful, Atomic? That's just my system. Hey, Heat, I've been there. I mean, when I started options, I probably blew up 3, 4, 5 accounts before I got it together. So, I mean, I 100% have lost thousands upon thousands of dollars throughout time because of that. I don't mess with Futes, Greg, but our futures channel down there with Morgana and a couple other people is really good. Futes aren't really my thing. How do you reckon? I don't know. Tag Major in the MNF trades chat guru. Major knows about Vanna and Charm. He also has a free newsletter he puts out in the mornings about Vanna and Charm on a couple different tickers. So, do I have recommendations to sharpen up your emotions? Prim, very good question. I use trailing stops to remove the emotion. Plain and simple. Here is the honest to goodness truth about a trade for everybody, not just me. Who needs muted now? Oh, I got it. Okay, honest to goodness truth about anything, any trade that you're going to be looking at throughout time. You're going to win or you're going to lose, right? So the first thing you need to do is you need to come to terms with the fact of how much are you willing to lose on every trade, and are you willing to accept the fact mentally and emotionally that you're going to lose? I know this is a little bit more than sometimes what we talk about, but I keep the same process going for every single thing. I set a 20% trailing stop. If I gain my 20%, I'm more than likely to move my trailing stop to a 10%, okay? Right? Because I want to lock in 10% in green at least, and then I let the app handle it for me. If I was wrong on my entry, guess what was wrong? It was me. It wasn't the Trady data. It wasn't the market is rigged. It wasn't some BS market maker or dealer or anything else. It was I wasn't intelligent enough to make a good decision on my entry. Okay? It's always my fault. I do start with a 20% stop. So, and I think that's really the best way for me at least to handle it. So, do I have a checklist for things for setting up a trade? I do, Haas. The Haas. You remind me of someone I went to college with, by the way. So you got me laughing pretty hard. I use the stock charts with MNF, the 0-day GEX, and then just convergence. I use it a lot. I use convergence a lot to see where we're at long short wise, and then I pair it with the 0-day gamma very frequently for most of my trades. Hey, you're welcome. We've got about 6. I don't use TradyFlow too often, Atomic. Here's the thing, and I'm going to tell you, I get so salty with myself because I see the Trady flows, and I see them end up working, and then I'm mad at myself for not following them. I literally take a screenshot of them on my phone, and I'll set a reminder, and I'll be like, damn it. And here's the thing, when they push out those massive trades, sometimes they're upside down for a long time on those before, and then they just hit hard. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to train myself to see those Trady flows and then wait. Check a day or two if it's a long expiry and see if they're still in, and then hammer them. So I don't have to go through that drawdown period and have capital squared away as I go. Everything we do is patience. Well, that depends on the account. Atomic. Does your 20% stop equate to 1 or 2% of your total account or less? My less, probably less. That depends. Sometimes I will. Well, that truly depends on the account. My swing account is substantially larger than my day trade account, and then I don't trade anything in my long term account. I just buy. So and I'll be honest with you, I don't for my day trades. I could use 50 to 100%, and if you want me to be honest, because I'm comfortable with losing that amount of money daily if I make a mistake. That's just how that works. So it just comes down to my risk management on my swing account is insanely tighter. Okay, I am using 1 to 2% or less on most every trade, if that makes sense. But my day trade account is different. I don't care. I don't care if I lose that. Now I'm not going to, because I still set a 20% stop. So I'm still never going to lose more than 20% of what that account is if I was stupid and full ported, which is rare. And I would have to be feeling 100% sure on something. But I'm usually only about 80 to 90% sure on my trades. So I just don't go there. The website, so Prim, the website, if you subscribe to the website, then you get the Discord as well. You just have to go to the Verify channel and the Unlock Premium channel. So, we've got 3 minutes left. Hey, that's a very good question. If you are a subscriber already, please unlock premium. Please come in the MNF Trades channel. It's a little bit further down. We have so many talented traders. I cannot name them all. There are dozens of people who are insanely talented. We are hilarious. I'm going to throw that out there. We after hours can get a little rowdy. So if fun after hours is not for you, during periods of consolidation, sometimes we get a little bit of rowdy. But everybody in there answers questions all day long and is there to help everybody out. So if you are already a subscriber, you are very much missing out. If you are shy, no one is going to blast you for asking a question. Someone is always going to be there to help. You will start to feel better about the platform and the people in it, and you'll understand that we're not just a data platform. We're a really, really, really good community. Well, we've only had it for we covered a little bit D-Day in the beginning, but this has been recorded. It'll be up tomorrow. Pretty successful so far. It should be. Let's see if I can tag it in here. Hashtag MNF. Oh, I can't type. Hold on. I just typed, I think, a couple of curse words accidentally. Autocorrect. That channel right there is where 90% of our Discord is active. And if you have fun gifts, and especially cat ones, when I don't know why, but when we get to the middle of the day, and we're consolidating, it seems like the cat gifts come out in full force, and everybody's always laughing. So the updated levels are always going to be Rockstar on that change portion. How do I unlock the Discord Premium again? You want to go to this channel, Prim, and that should get you set up. Just follow the commands in there. All right, hey, we are at our stopping point with 1 minute left. Does anybody have any other questions they want to ask before we shut it down? Nice turnout tonight. I don't know, 30 people. That's not bad. That means 30 people learned some stuff. I hope everybody enjoyed. Yes, and I'll do these. I'll pop up every 2 or 3 weeks. I like to make them a surprise for everybody. Also, with my son's cross-country schedule, I'm never sure when I'm free. So it just depends on that. Next weekend is a no-go because he's at regionals. things like that. But he's paintballing tonight. So I had free time, so I thought, what the heck? Let's all hang out and have a good time together. I love hanging out with y'all. So, yes, hey, Rockstar, the video will be on our YouTube tomorrow, probably morning. The Trady YouTube. Yep. Hey, love y'all. As a reminder, as I always finish things, make sure to take the time to be kind to each other, treat each other well, show love, and if you see something you don't like and it's not for you, hey, you don't have to comment. You can just walk away. And if you all get, oh, purple hearts, I love you all. Okay, everybody, you have a really good night. I am going to call it, and we are going to go